Hey folks, welcome to the Sunday show, and a very warm welcome, hope you're well. Straight out the box, DHLA 300, get to your chat in a second, get on with it. It's going to go up like a skyrocket, going to go up like your rocket, Jilly, out of the garden. I love this light. Yeah. Not so keen on it. Started moaning already, look. Yes. No, it's Heathrow Frankfurt now, isn't it? Bit of a windy climb out, folks. Oh, it was London Frankfurt, yeah, that's right, yeah. Frankfurt Heathrow, there we go. Wow, look at that. Getting buffeted around up there a little bit. Watch when they, oh, look at this big lad coming in. Oh. Yeah. Big battle at the moment, isn't it? A350 1000 versus the Triple X. Triple X? 9X. That's it. Just make that jump up for this. Stiff old breeze. Certainly not a nice calm action, is it, on the control column? I got it. Yeah, okay. Because of well, we're hearing that a lot of flights delayed today, folks, due to weather or winds at London Heathrow, as they put it, but also he's gone out. He's going to save them. Look how long these Dreamliners go, man. Compared to that 777, not even front wheel off the ground. There we go, only just. Look how much runway they got left, man. Rogue arrival. Because of these delays, they are bringing the odd one in, Rogue as we call it. Nice. So we were looking on flight radar earlier, just looking at the holding patterns, and saw an Aer Lingus A321neo, and I swear the livery looked blue. We were like, wow, is that a new Aer Lingus livery? No one said anything about that. It honestly does look, from the photograph on Flight Radar 24, or one of them at least, it looks blue. Looks really smart, actually. Aer Lingus might want to have a little look at that and consider it as a potential, you know, blue jet. morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Cheetah 1903 is the difference between A350-900 and 1000 just size. Yeah, more or less, Cheetah. Same sized wing, I believe. Engine has a slightly less power to it. It's just a derated variant of engine. Same makeup of XWB engine, but I think it's just a tuned down version of the 100,000 thrust Trent XWB that powers the 1000. But size and undercarriage is the other thing. The one other thing is that the 1000 does have tri undercarriage. So if she's in the air, it's a length thing that you need to look at. It's literally once the once the gear are raised, it is literally what you're seeing is the difference is the length of the aircraft, and it is noticeable as well, very noticeable. A bit like the 787-9 and the 10. Thank you, Claire Bear, gifted a membership. Thank you, everybody, saying hello in singles to Of course, she looks a little bit heavy on the right side, doesn't she? There, or was that just an hotkey using? Almost looks like. For Nigel. Can I say a big shout out to Russell Epstein from Gemini Jets, to Dan as well. Was it Dan? Dan! From Gemini Jets, who I met and at Kempton Park at the model fair. A little bit of a funky shot there, kind of missed that. Meredith Jane has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Meredith. Yeah, it's went down there to meet up with the crew from Gemini Jets, and also Paul at ARD Models. And bear in mind that Paul also has the in-flight model range, is his own gig, one of which I saw the Dream Lifter in neutral. Well, it was unpainted in its sort of like its green oxide paint, isn't it? The oxide paint that they use, matte, beautiful model. Of course, they've got the AIRBUS Beluga as well, which has an opening. I think both models have. It's got a little intersect coming out. Both models have opening compartments. And I think you can actually buy. Really cool for the AIRBUS Beluga. You can buy AIRBUS components that go into the Beluga, preloaded, if you want. Simon's budget. Yeah, of course we are at the London Fire Brigade, folks. You know what to do. Hit that QR code. We changed it back to red out of a request by a lot of people. Works better for the LFB, of course, and what they say goes. Joshua Randall is a brand new member. Welcome, Joshua. And Jess Parr is a new member as well. Oh, Joshua, sorry, he's a returning member. Welcome back, Joshua. Bring my flight radar up. Heathrow to Heathrow. just an exercise, was it? Oh. So where did it meet up with the Typhoons is the question. If it went Heathrow to Heathrow then. Okay, here we go, folks. Houston bound. 16 or 16 or 60? Obviously not 60. No! Oh, Jordan Charlie. Yeah, hello, Jordan. Thank you very much, by the way, folk. Mate, I'm sorry I missed you the other day. To say thank you. Watch the tilt. Interesting that the 777-200 versus the 300. 777-200 has slightly smaller wheels than the 300 and has a slightly smaller actuator arm as well. The 777, well, I say slightly smaller, it's bleeding massive on the 300. It's a serious piece of kit. The tilt mechanism or the actuator arm. This is nice. Sri Lankan 330 headed to Colombo. And just one other thing. Nice. Oh, nice departure, man. Yeah. No tilt mechanism or actuator arm or anything like that on the 330. Goes up as it is. It just automatically, obviously using hydraulics, tilts backwards. But it's not a system that pushes it like on the 777. Using a little bit of crab there. Southwesterly winds at the moment. I was kind of hoping we might get a little bit of vortex off these wingtips, but there isn't enough moisture in the air. Everywhere I look around. Okay, A350 1000 with the tri-cart undercarriage. Quite derated. Every sight, every sound. The AIRBUS A350-1000 also does not use an actuator arm or a tilt mechanism. There's actually quite a lot of weight to that whole tilt mechanism when you think of all the componentry that goes into it. So the way that AIRBUS got away with it, or whatever, designed around it, was to have the middle set of wheels ever so slightly, the axle ever so slightly narrower. Yeah, getting quite buffeted, this jet on its way to Detroit, Michigan. Yeah. Wow, you can feel that wind, folks. I think it's switching to more or less a westerly later on. Of course, 3 o'clock switch over, as is always the case. Old London town. So if you fancy a membership, folks, you can enable gifting by just hitting that link at the top of the page. Get involved if you're a new member as well. Always like to see the chat from you folks. Get involved in the discussion. Oh, nice bit of vortex coming off that wingtip of that 350. Now that's something you don't often see, isn't it? Maybe if we had left it with that. Jasmine Gunn has gifted a membership. Thank you, Jasmine. Emma Deal flew to Larnaca yesterday from Heathrow T5 on a 320 Neo with BA. New one? Well, I say it is new in comparison to obviously the CEOs, but Rishon Spotter. Unfortunately, my friend, no, this is on a main road down here. I mean, obviously you can come and stand at the roadside if you want to. New engine nacelle. See the engine nacelle? It's interesting, there was a discussion on a forum regarding the third runway at London Heathrow. Those discussions are ongoing, but apparently it's been put to a private. Now it's not going to be a governmental thing. I think the government have given the go-ahead for the third runway, but it is now down to the private sector. We've got another rogue arrival on 27 right, I see. Yeah, it is a shame. Yeah, it's going to the private sector now. Obviously, the local residents or businesses and so on and so forth, communities around the area that would be affected. Now, it's a long discussion, I have to say. Look at this. It's one for Monsieur. If he's here from France. Tuned in from Paris. Got to say, that was the first time I'd ever been to Paris, actually, into the Parisian sector, and it's beautiful there, isn't it? It's got some beautiful architecture in Paris. Yeah, third runway is a discussion which we could have probably, but for quite some time. But what I want to suggest is, obviously, as we did on the last show from Frankfurt, because they have a third runway, well, not a third runway, but an additional runway the most recent runway that they added at Frankfurt, which is way over the other side, in sort of like a fielded, sort of like in fields, where it was obviously easier for them to do it rather than knocking loads of buildings and so on and so forth down. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if you look at the design, makeup and the structure of London Heathrow, like an overhead view, firstly, I would suggest that they only make that runway a certain length, therefore it's only able to accommodate single aisle jets, and not even twin aisle jets or super twins, or even the NEOs, you know, the 330 Neos and that sort of thing. If they were to just have those aircraft landing on that runway and taking off, departing from that runway, then it would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Because you'd be much more in favour with the local residents when you have these things landing as opposed to big jets, because they're very quiet, obviously. Now, the other thing is to bear in mind is the location for it would be much the same as what they have at Frankfurt, in terms of it being offset to a diagonal, and the taxiway. The only construction work, well, I say the only construction work, in terms of affecting the local area would be the taxiways to and from you'd only need 2 taxiways, wouldn't you? Just 2 taxiways, I'd imagine. I mean, you could run a single taxiway, but then you'd have a little bit of congestion, I would imagine, with aircraft coming in and going out, etc. But also, I'm thinking that the third runway would be way over there, the other side of the M25. Okay, there's a huge area. The only thing is that I think it may be, an area of natural beauty or something like that. I'm not sure if it is, but it is fielded anyway, and it would be far easier in terms of affecting the local community in terms of destruction, because the taxiways could quite easily circumnavigate around over the top of the M25, and like they do at Frankfurt. I think it would be a far easier thing to plan, rather than having, because of course. When you talk about a third runway, all the locals are thinking, "Oh, I'm not bleeding jumbo jets and A380s landing over my house." If you were to turn around and just say, "No, we're restricting it just to the modern jets, the Neos and so on and so forth." What's a Neo? Well, it's a very advanced new type of aircraft which has a very improved sound note compared to the old aeroplanes, which have older, noisier engines, and also not only that, but in terms of their emissions. If you were to sit down with the local residents and discuss it openly and be honest about it, you'd be in a much better position. To get some discussions going. Chemical tanker driver, why are they landing and taking off 27 right? Is it a volume traffic? Well, you answered your own question there, chemical tanker driver. Yes, indeed. Because the holding patterns are so busy. If you go on your Flight Radar 24 apps, you will see how busy the holds are around London Heathrow. And there are around about, 47, 45, 50-minute delays, apparently. Philip Jones, the plans show Harlington, Harmsworth, Simpson will be wiped out if it's wrong. Simpson? Wiped out? They don't need to do all that, do they? Such a long runway that these Dreamliners use. Oh, interesting. John saying, just been announced, BBC News, that air traffic controllers put restrictions at Heathrow Airport, something to do with traffic flow. Well, I'll tell you what, look at this. You know what is another thing that they were mentioning was staffing at air traffic control. So that may be another issue. Somebody's, it only takes a couple of people to not turn up for their shift for whatever reason it may be. That kind of throws the whole thing into turmoil, doesn't it? Although you would imagine that there would be a few air traffic controllers who might be happy to step in on a Sunday for a little bit of overtime. Robert Cave, 8 in the hold over Romford. 8 in the hold, Julie. Did you hear that? It's crazy. chip, David Smith. Can't live near an airport and moan about the planes. You're right, Dave. I think, you know, people like us, we're the only ones down the street who are like, yeah, you know, wow, look at this one coming out, standing out in your garden. You've had long enough to. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are not in a position to move. You know, start up. See how deep and groany the 350 XWB engine startup is. On its way out. Great to see, I have to say, that folks at KLM have touched up or actually completely repainted the Pride, the 777 Pride jet. Same type of livery, same livery, you know, same orange Pride and orange up front, blue up the back, but with the Dutch flag separating them. Looks fantastic. So because the whole, you know, the whole model thing that whenever we do something with Aviation Retail Direct, it's always very popular. So we're planning, folks. We're planning. Me and Jilly ran a test last night for something that we're going to be bringing to you maybe before the end of the year, but certainly in the early part of 2024. But we've got a couple of things that we need to finalise logistically. So I did give a shout out, didn't I, to Jason Jordan Charlie. Thank you, Jordan. Very kind of you, my friend, and yeah, very much appreciated. You really didn't have to do that, but it's very kind of you to leave that little present of Bicky's private van. Nice to meet you. Steve Stibbons, wasn't there a plan to build a new airport in the Thames? Yes. Well, that was something that was considered, wasn't it, with I think when Boris was in power. You know who's in power now? A330's been reborn, hasn't it, really? Born again 330. Very popular with the re-engining and also design changes to the wing. I don't know if it's a completely new wing or if it's just a you know, they've revised it. They would have changed the pylon, obviously, to accommodate the bigger engine. Maybe extended the undercarriage ever so slightly because of the larger sized engines. And here we come, folks. Here we go. Wow, look how slow this 350's going, man. Big old bumpy ride up there, man. Look at that level out. Wow. Look at that, man. Make sure I haven't got any messages from pilots or anything. Taxiways. May well switch taxiways, this guy. More or less head on to us as well. Here we go. Oh, just a little kick through the chicane. Gray gifted 5 memberships. Thanks, Nick. Thank you to everybody who's gifting. Appreciate it. Very kind of you. Gary Pitt, good afternoon. LA Girl. Claire Bear. Is there a divert to Heathrow from anywhere? Look at this guy. You know, bumpy, man. Yeah, the whole third runway thing is a massive debate, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, it gets dark. No, at the end of the day, there are people who will be affected. There's no doubt about it. It is just one of those things which, you know, nobody likes to see, like with the whole railway thing and all that kind of thing. But you know, if they can sort of like meet halfway with the locals, with the residents, you know, I don't know. In terms of like, we're not talking about wiping out entire communities here, are we? In terms of their housing, I don't know. There's a plan to have a train link from the old oil depot at Langley going underground to the T5 area. Okay, well, I'm sure there's all sorts of you know, options and plans and that kind of thing, but the bottom line is it's physically building a runway. So all I'm saying is that in order to, you know, to make it a little bit more sort of like acceptable, would be to have a shorter runway that only neo modern jets, A220s, E190s, ATRs, that kind of stuff can land on. 737 Max, you know, 9, whatever. You know, quieter aircraft, and more efficient. Don't get me wrong, you know, these Dreamliners and 350s are are still quiet. And that was very, very quiet. But you know, and of course they only use that runway at Frankfurt for landing. Oh no, they don't. Sorry. Yes, yes. It's only arrivals on that third, that fourth runway. 1, 2, 3, 25. Right, isn't it? 25 right, I think it is. Well planned, just well planned at the end of the day. I have no doubt that they went through, you know, huge development discussions and so on and so forth. Shamrock 105 has gifted a membership. Thanks, Shamrock. Jordan Charlie, Boris Island. Well, you know, it's not such a bad idea. It's feasible, but cool, blimey. Probably get the Aussies to build it. Lucy McCluskey, Korean Air 787-8 over at the VIP terminal, arrived this morning. Korean 787-8? Interesting. Over at the VIP terminal. Beautiful. JFK, Teterboro and LaGuardia, Nathan Williams. So is that they? Is that Nick Gray's gifted another 5 ships, or is that a duplication from my side? Scrolling to the bottom of the comments, folks. Stand by. Chucked around a bit. Rick Rashi, good day to you. RDUK Pam, BCal Pam, Trev, Lion, Scott Thompson, Nick Pulse. Yeah, if you're a new member, folks, please don't hesitate to come in and chat, ask questions. Got any questions you have, either put them to me or to the audience that you see here? We've got a very knowledgeable bunch of people. Or if you've got stuff that you want to talk about, that you've seen in the news, or that you can't quite get your head around, or stuff that we maybe don't know, you know. Marcel Porner is a new member, a returning member. Sorry, Marcel. He's a 4-striper as well. Bruce Fine, happy to bring new people to Big Jet Enthusiasm. Thank you, Bruce. Aidan Campbell, yes, that's far too far away. We're talking about, you know, people don't want to get on a train and have to travel, you know, 30 odd miles to somewhere. Kind of like defeats the object, doesn't it? Usually tell how gusty it is when they wheels off the ground. You can see the flight surfaces moving on the wing, especially those big flapperons that they have on the Boeings. It's very evident there when you're getting kicked around from left to right. Of course, with a big headwind, as you can see there, sort of got a crosswind element in there as well. So. Cheryl Howard asking about that ice runway operation that they had with Norse. Good question. That would they have had to have had a special tyre? Well, I mean, look, you're landing on ice basically. There will probably have been a very slight, coating of snow on it. Maybe, I don't know, from general winds, but. That's one of the things that I was questioning. Let's just let this 380 go out first. Now look at the flight surfaces on the wings as the computers, well, the pilot at this point in time making the corrections, but when they make those corrections, all the computers, gang up together and operate all the flight surfaces as they need to. But this is actually quite a, just a little bit on liftoff, wasn't it? Now it's all mainly on the elevators. You can see the elevator still on the climb, obviously maintaining a steady climb rate. So yeah, the tyres on the Norse 787, maybe Dunlop or whoever, or Michelin or Pirelli or whoever were operating on that aircraft, maybe they have developed special gripped, because normally the tyres on these jetliners are only grooved. They only have grooves in them because they're obviously, they're not used for steering left and right at high speeds. So they do a decent enough job in terms of dispersing the water. But yeah, interesting. I mean, I think that because they have the tyre rubber is so thick on jetliners anyway. I think that incorporating any kind of knobble, if you know what I mean, like or tyre or tread pattern, would possibly be far too difficult to manufacture, maybe, I don't know. Well, you think about it, they do it for big truck tyres, don't they? Well, when I say truck tyres, I'm talking about earth movers and things like that. So it can be done, but I'm not sure as it would operate well on an aircraft. Used to have them on the early Lancaster bombers, but eventually. But yeah, I just think from cost thousands and thousands and thousands to manufacture a custom set of tyres as well. So good question that, because one of the questions that I had seeing that Norse Dreamliner land was taxiing, because you know, very powerful engines, and you're literally taxiing on ice. There's a TV show in there somewhere, isn't there? Taxiing on ice. Anyway, just seen that Avro Arrow, Ethan J. Matford Farm, European Aviation at Birmingham, at Bournemouth. Sorry, has 346s. He's right there. Matford Farm. Yeah, So Cheryl Howard hopefully got that. Yeah, folks, please try and be a little bit respectful to all your other your colleagues and fellow members on the chat. Please don't have individual discussions with each other, or you know what you've had for tea, or you know that kind of thing. And because we like to say hello as a whole, hello everybody, and then get on with your chat, and because obviously it kind of clogs up the chat, and people want to sort of like other people who want to come in and maybe talk about discuss. It just goes so quickly that Griffey 8400 A380 takeoff upstairs feel like nothing is happening. He's right, you know. Got 747 once. Pilot said 56 seconds to take off felt like forever. Okay. 56.7. Oh no, 56 seconds for takeoff. Beverly George has gifted a membership. Thank you, Chrissy. Arthur Benny. Gerald disabled this to the much slower airspeed from flaps. Easy, son, easy. Little bit sketchy there. Should might get a bit of interesting arrivals at 3 o'clock switchover. To save all this, do they not land with a much slower airspeed, false flaps? To save all this. Well, Arthur, yeah, generally when an aircraft is in the final stages of its approach, it will select flaps full. Not always. I think sometimes, depending on the weight of the aircraft, the wind speed, all the general weather conditions, whatever selection they land with. But I think in general, if you fly regularly on approach, they will bring the flaps down in increments. Start off with 5 degrees and then move, or maybe even 3 degrees, and then move down to 5, then 7, then and then right out to the maximum. Percentages and numbers is dependent on whether it's a Boeing or Airbus. I think numbers on Airbus, I think. Snow groomer machines are used to furrow or plough the ice. Yes, creating shallow grooves. Yes, like they do on the runways. Here we go. There we go. Look at that vortex over the engine, over the wing, man. There, see the wing surfaces move there, ever so slightly, just to counteract the twist. See them moving ever so slightly over the wing there, folks. That's actually the spoilers, the ground spoilers. And the speed brakes, they're all one flight surface that has a double usage. So Rohit Parkal, there we go. I didn't think about that, of course. On runways, on modern runways, folks, there are grooves that are set into the runway or cut into the runway. Sometimes it's more apparent when they're taking off. You can hear that whirring noise or whining noise as they gather speed down the runway. But he's saying there that they are creating shallow grooves. Plough. Gear tilt. There it is, here it comes. There it is. Wow, quite late. So yeah, what Rohit's saying there is that the ice that is from those ploughed furrows is evenly distributed across the runway, and that then freezes to almost create a sort of like a grippy layer on top, almost like felt roofing sort of thing. Thanks, Emma. Emma, right. Yeah. Wow. Rolls-Royce Trent 800s. Donna Devlin is a new member. Welcome, Donna. Fighting with that wind, man. I'm telling you. Duncan38 has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Duncan. So there we go. Nice bit of floofage. Nice bit of floofage. Oh, yeah. Wow, look at that. Yeah! Nice! 78710. Also has the tilting gear. There it is. You want to get that gear up pretty damn quick when you've got these crosswinds. Once you get that positive rate, look at the aircraft battling away with those crosswinds. Riyadh. To Riyadh, hopefully we'll see Riyadh's Dreamliners in at Heathrow at some point in the future. I don't know if they will operate a Heathrow route, but if BA are doing it, then it does make you wonder whether folks at Riyadh will be operating. Nashville, Tennessee. She's off to. Jordan Charlie. Nathan Pulling. Mike D. Adam Pakenham. Still charging, GP. Still charging. We're all good. Hello. Okay. 2025 for Riyadh Air, Steve Batty saying. Thank you, Steve. Amazing looking livery, has to be said. First time we clapped eyes on it was at the Paris Air Show, where they had one on static display. Real shame they didn't fly it, man. Steve Hughes, thank you. Magnificent. Fantastic camera work. Don't get ahead of yourself, Jerry. Madeira Aviation spotting Dean Mellor. Well, it's after 12:30 a.m. here in Australia. Dean Mellor, there you go, and you're looking right at the big roo there. The little Joey went out earlier on, of course. Apparently a new airport is under construction at the moment. STU is the sorry, SUT, I'm sorry, it's that new that I forgot. SUT, Sierra Uniform Tango, is the new name for the airport under construction. Can't say what it is at the moment. But we will be revealing it in the future. Quite excited to do that, actually, because we are the exclusive. We have exclusive access, all area access to the new SUT airport. Gary Lyon, yes, they have released a second livery, Riyadh. Captain Marnie. Contest Marnie, destination. Some other memberships. Well, we can't give membership, that's the trouble. Well, we can, but we can't. Well, no, we can. We can gift it, but we can't guarantee who it's going to be. You know. So, Marnie, yeah, unfortunately, we would love to be able to do that, but the best we can do is gift membership ourselves. Oh, funky shot coming up in 3, 2, 1. Nice! First funky shot of the day. Philip Lowry Sutton. Not saying anything. Staples, I was watching a seagull this morning, as you do. Yes, well, I am. Was intrigued how they use their wings to make minor adjustments depending on the wind speed and direction. Yeah, it's amazing. I love watching large birds flying, especially in winds like these, using their outboard feathers. What's that? Dean Mellor, Sue Taylor, Sue Cruz, River and Kiki. I would hope that anyone who wanted to work at ATC know how to get there in the first place, and so they would be controlled an airport. Can't find my way there. Okay, 767. Here we go. Slingshot departure straight out the box. Fire it up! Chris Gossman waiting for daylight in Seattle. There's another song there, isn't there? Look at the rudder. Look at the rudder, man. Battling with that aircraft, keeping it straight in a straight line. Yeah, look at that, man. Mind you, that SSI Jenny, was it SSI? I mean, it wasn't on flight radar, but it is. Watch surfaces. Wow, see it? There you go. See the adjustments. Yeah. Go on the Seagull. Yeah, climb going out now. Here we go. Let's get this thing out of here. Old Smoky Joe. So, oh, there is it. Waiting for data. Chadbut's SUT Cape Fear is a regional. Phil T. Karen Northnagle, sorry. Aidan Campbell, many US airports have the same three-letter identifier for the FAA and IATA. Okay, yeah, this airport is assigned SUT by the FAA, but no designation from the IATA, which assigned SUT to Sumbawanga Airport. Okay. Sarah Lancaster, are you going to North Carolina? Not at the moment, not this afternoon, Sarah. Oh, has he just landed? Has he just landed, this guy? Or have I just missed a bleeding reject? He's just landed, isn't he? Because he's, yeah, his flaps are full, that's for sure. Randy Wishbell. Smallest scaffolder in Europe. Oh, Qantas bringing another 380 from the Melbourne route again. Isn't that? Yes. Lots of sort of like news coming out of Dubai from the air show, signings and that sort of thing. But I think the key battle was definitely, obviously, between Airbus and Boeing. Who won it? I don't know. The Boeing 777-9 and 777-8 order with Emirates was ginormous, and the reason why I say that, I may be wrong here, but even though Boeing do have pre-orders or LOIs, letters of interest from airlines such as Lufthansa, BA, etc., numbers are what are key, in terms of how many have been ordered. I think Emirates is the first one to sort of like, jump in there with intended orders. I don't think they've actually signed, sealed, and, well, obviously not delivered, but they haven't completely signed off on the 777 orders. I think it's still a letter of intent, so to speak. But of course, Airbus have also been busy with their orders as well, and of course, alongside that, interestingly enough, Airbus announcing more A350-1000 orders, which is a little bit strange because, as we discussed last week, or people were discussing, that Emirates chose, this is their words apparently, or somebody who spoke to somebody at Emirates, they chose the 777-9 over the A350-1000 purely based on engine reliability and faith in the engine, overheating issues apparently, or not being able to cope with hot conditions. So, you know, and then we read that an additional 15 A350-1000s had been ordered. Wow. I don't know if you can see that, folks, but... So that takes the order book for the A350-1000 with Emirates up to... You see the flight surfaces? I know I keep harping on about it. See, if you look at the wing, you see... oh, that's fun when you're up there at that altitude, man. See the outboard ailerons working away there? See them up, down, opposite side, obviously, counteracting the other side. Pretty cool, man. And it's basically, as soon as they leave the ground, this aircraft is no longer a vehicle. As soon as they leave the ground, that's when they get hit by any crosswinds. Right now. Once the gear comes up as well, all of a sudden you've got a cleaner configuration, which sort of like can, I'd imagine, possibly catch you out in terms of like all of a sudden there's you know, no restriction underneath the belly of the aircraft that's caused by the undercarriage. Blah blah blah. So yeah, I mean, I think that Airbus A350, it was literally the Airbus A350 versus the 777-9, wasn't it? Not much. I didn't hear much about the single aisle orders. I think the big stuff. You know, 737-9 versus Neos, that sort of thing. But I tell you what, it'll have a lot of people at Boeing very, very happy, shareholders especially. But we'll just have to see what transpires. That looks like an A380 that's got its tail pointing in this direction, and she's ready to go. In fact, I can hear her firing up now. She's bound for San Francisco. Let's go to San Francisco. Here we go, big lad coming out. Wow. This is Bahrain, this 777 headed for. Sorry, folks. So it's Painter Aguas Adonas. Good afternoon to you, Gary Lyon. Boeing got 295 orders, Airbus got 86. Wow! Gary Lyon, that's amazing. Boeing got 295 orders and Airbus got 86. Wow. Well, I think Boeing have won there, haven't they? Wow, man. They're still partying now, aren't they? That's a big difference, man. Yeah, they've been they've had a few issues, haven't they, Boeing? But you know, to be honest with you, so have Airbus. Have had their issues. Suffer 6-3. The shock order was the Fly Dubai Dreamliner ordered a step up from the 737 Max. Okay, Fly Dubai Dreamliner order. Tell me more on that Suffer 6-3, please. Jake, I don't prefer either, to be perfectly honest with you, in terms of Airbus versus Boeing. Matthew Ewan, most probably because of the Pratt & Whitney issues. Pratt & Whitney's on what aircraft? Because obviously the Max, the 737 Max is powered by the LEAP engine, not the Pratt & Whitney. Maybe, and also the all new aircraft being fitted with the Pratt & Whitney PW engine will be taking new in the revised engine, won't they? Maybe just not happy with that. Yeah, but in terms of the big players, really, it is Boeing and Airbus, isn't it? You know, I mean, obviously, you know, yeah. There are obviously, you know, regionals, ATR, and you got the Embraers as well, you know, which are the E2 jets for single aisles. You know, they've come on strong in the last, you know, well, for the E2 jet, certainly. See that wings flexing on that 777 now. This is the Bahrain jet. Tell you what, I did see. So for 6-3. Oh, they've ordered 30-9s. Interesting. Is that possibly because of high capacity routes with Fly Dubai? Also, I thought Fly Dubai was just a regional sort of, like, you know, another. Nicely done. No worries, mate. No worries. Yeah. Dan, who's the, I think he's literally the owner or something. He started Gemini Jets anyway. Dan, the fella from Gemini Jets, who was at the model show today. Lovely fella, but had a couple of beautiful models, man. I mean, we're talking, what would they have been? Because they're not 200th scale, are they? Because those they were massive, almost like the kind of thing that you find in a travel agents, you know, back in the day. Beautiful Braniff 747 SP and a beautiful Pan Am TriStar on stand, just absolutely beautiful. Quite reasonably priced as well when you consider how much the 200th scale models are. So, you know, specialist orders, of course. Emirates Fly Dubai list price total order cost $63 billion, Gary Line. Wow. Melanie, good afternoon to you. Les Fuller, love A380s but not flown on one for years. Well, you never know, you might be able to fly on one with Global Airlines if it ever happens. You never know about that. Good thing is that we're going to be seeing these big old lumps flying for a long, long time. Many, many more years to come, I think. You'll find, folks. Because obviously, eventually they will be phased out. You know, some airports have been have now banned 747 older type 747s from operating out of the airport, out of their airports. That's some airports in the US, I think. That's based on the older, very old, sort of like, you know, maybe the RB211s, the Pratt Whitneys, the CF6s. Nice. Anastasia Parry. It's an ongoing discussion, isn't it? Aidan Campbell, I love Embraers, feels like you're flying on a slightly larger private jet. Tell you what, he's absolutely right there, you know. The E2, because it's a 3-2 configuration, isn't it, on the Embraer? And it is a great seating configuration. I think it's the same on the old 195s, the CEOs, I guess we could call it. See the little tiny movement of elevator going on there. There it is. Just getting caught, man. Buffeted. So while that gear comes up, flying pilot. So look, it doesn't look like there's much going on there, does it? Just let it fly. I think hand more on what maker I fly, but I do prefer to see the Rolls-Royce badge on the engine cowls. Yeah, good for you, mate. Yeah, it is always nice to see the old Rolls-Royce insignia. Just like on that 380 there, Rolls-Royce Trent 900s. It's another Rolls-Royce powered jet, 800s. Oh, listen to it, man. Overwing vortex floofage, as we call it. Other people have started adopting flu fidget. William Smith. Thank you, William, has gifted 10 memberships. What a lovely thing to do. Thank you, sir. WV Islandia. Suffer 6-3. Okay, so fly Dubai, fly as far north as Poland and east to Moscow. Interesting. Interesting. Chrissy loves flying on an Embraer. I'm sticking with my guess of a satellite miniature Wonderland airport. Sutton Green. Great golf club at Sutton Green. Play it many, many times. It's supposed to be being demolished for redevelopment, interestingly enough. Whether it'll happen, we don't know. Randy Bushbound. Flying JetBlue tomorrow on the red eye. Done that a few times from California, from Los Angeles and back. Internally, that is. Well, I'm absolutely blown away by that difference in the number of orders with Boeing compared to Airbus. Airbus must have gone home with their tail between their legs, man. I mean, don't forget that a lot of those orders, folks, we look at them as orders, but they are probably letters of intent, both for Airbus and for Boeing. You know, they're based on you being able to deliver them on time, and scheduling and so on and so forth. Lots of orders do get cancelled. In fact, when I get my hello. Watch this thing go up, man. Watch. Stand by, GP. Stand by. I didn't hear that. Had a jet flying past me. What was that? Say that again now. What's that? Oh, no, it's not a question. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Who was it, Julie? Yeah, Peter. Honestly, you know what I'm talking about, Peter. I don't want to get into sort of like a discussion about it. Of course, you can say what you like on the chat. You know, it's your prerogative, isn't it? But we prefer to have people talking, sticking to the subject, you know, matter, which is aviation. I mean, hey, listen, I'm guilty of it. I'm probably most guilty of coming off topic. You know, so but what we try to do, obviously, is just keep things on, you know, on a level in terms of, you know. Do I need to explain myself? You know, we're all adults in here, aren't we? Yeah, but if everybody comes in and says hello, Steve, hello, Bob, hello, John, hello, Sally, hello, Faye, hello, you know, it just constantly. If everybody does that, then that just clogs up the chat, doesn't it? Clogs up it. Sorry, you know, clogs it up. You know. Because that's what I said. Yeah. You know, we want to be talking about, you know, oh, I see Emirates ordered another this, or I see that this, that, and the other order. I've done, you know, interesting to see this plane's coming in from so and so, that plane's going out to so and so, all that kind of stuff. Not I had too many pieces of broccoli for dinner. Just try if you can to stay on subject, that's all I'm saying. We're all adults and all, remember that. Bobby 13. Ooh. Mirrors, Lloyd Bell, Alex Collins. Alex Collins, great news about the Barbados Concorde, mate. Watch the vortex over the wing from the engines, folks. Look at that. See the vortex created by the vortex generators, funny enough. Splitters. Big load of wing flight surfaces on these wings, man. So it's quite apparent when these things climb out. It seems to be a lot of it's on the elevators rather than it's a big lump in it. Jeremy Smith, I like the Air India Star Alliance livery. Yeah. Some of them. Do some Star Alliances have the tail livery and some have the Star Alliance tail livery? That big BA plane, Jerry, what does the engine cost, Craig O'Brien? Wow. Yeah. Well, the thing is that it's an interesting question, because in terms of engine costs, it's the engine, the deal that the airline or operator, lease operator, whoever it might be, does with the engine manufacturer is actually, they don't go in there and buy them cash. They will buy or sign a contract to supply the engines and maintain the engines as well. So it's a maintenance contract. That's where actually the engine manufacturers make most of their money from. But you know, each engine, oh, that's a tricky one. I'm going to say 30 million. Let's just have a look and see whether let's see how much does Rolls Royce XWB engine cost? Question mark, go. 25 million. Did I say 30 million? I think I said 30 million. So there you go, around about 30 million. So $120 million is the list price. I'm guessing you say MEA using their little 320. If there's anything to do with their Neo jet, maybe in for maintenance. Do they perhaps use Pratt & Whitney's? Are expecting a little bit of pre-sit, and I'm feeling a bit now, which is the problem. So there you go, 25 million hours. Alex Collins, Concorde AE Alpha Echo, I think that is, in Barbados will be available to view again. The airport is taking over the hangar as an additional terminal. Okay. So what they're going to do? They're going to build the terminal around the Concorde. That would be pretty cool, because I suggested that they did that at Heathrow Terminal 5, but way too far off on it. Listen to that. Oh, mate, what a sound. That's got to be a GE90 firing up, isn't it? There is no sound better than that in terms of startup sounds anyway. Grumpy toffee. Buy a lot of broccoli. Oh, sorry man, sorry. Keep your eyes on the prize, Jerry. So somebody's saying yes about the terminal, apparently. We've got a rogue arrival on this runway. Dave Carrington, Singapore Slinger due roughly at switchover. Oh, let's hope she's a little bit late. At the moment, they're putting everything in the holding patterns, aren't they? So there's a good chance, yeah. Matford Farm, I think it's Boeing that has a massive order to re-engine all the B-52 aircraft. Well, Matford Farm, I think it's actually Rolls-Royce who have the contract there, is it not? Because it's all going to be the Rolls-Royce engine on the B-52. Rex Magnum's taking the day off ill, and yes, Jerry, the hangar is going to have security and some shopping inside it. Some security. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so it's part of the airport. Is that going to be like bolted onto the airport? It's going to be integrated within it. Be good to know. Rohit Park. Thanks for that. Little bit of crosswind activity, which we're expecting to see at 3 o'clock. Winds are expected to die down though, around about the 3 o'clock mark, but I think the Slinger will probably come into this runway based on the current delays that we're experiencing, around about 40-minute delays, both arrivals and departures. Mycroft Holmes, yeah, you know. Screaming Emu. I mentioned broccoli, but I think I've got away with it. I'm seeing all the broccoli things coming up now. Yes. Yeah. Hot Mess Mama, g'day to you. Rick Rashid, does DHL fly to EGSS? Oh, okay. So Stansted, I think they may have an operation, a couple of operations a day, maybe DHL. Most airports, to be honest with you, do have a regular e-commerce flight, be it DHL or UPS. Shamrock 105 A380 costs $1.2 million per month to lease. Is that with the contract, with the maintenance contract as well? Because that's a huge part of it as well, of course. Rob Van Roy has gifted a membership. Thanks, Rob. Motorsports. The rules. CX7 due in around 16:30. Hayden Camp. Yeah, it is. It is. Didn't even know we had it. Oh, okay. Painter girl. Good question. That could one make jet fuel out properly? Well, it's waste, isn't it? It's biofuel. So theoretically, yes, because that is more or less what jet sustainable aviation fuel is created out of, is vegetable oil and stuff like that, isn't it? Probably need quite a bit of broccoli to make enough fuel to power one of these jets, though. In fact, you know, we all joke about it, but that is the reason why. Oh, look at that clouding, man. Yeah. I'm just slinging a load of broccoli inches. Yeah. Gee. GG, not a stupid question, GG. Nothing is a stupid question. There is no such thing as a stupid question. Newer planes are getting longer. GG, not really, my friend. The newer aircraft, like the, let's just say this A350, has two different variants, the 900 and the 1000. Obviously, one is longer than the other. 787, 900 and 10. Just say 8, 9 and 10. 787, 8, 9 or 10. Obviously 10 being the longest variant. A321 is the longer. 321 is the longer of the three Neo variants, and of course the Embraer, the E2 Prafidature is. But yeah, no. I think you'll find, my friend GG, that maybe you're seeing that, but it is not the case. However, I know what you're maybe trying to eke out of me is that rather than building big, huge four-engine jets, we're trying to extend these jetliners. Personally, okay, we've got BA3 on approach to this runway, folks. Smoky old set of Trents on alert. Yeah, there will certainly not be any, not in my lifetime anyway, new four-engine jets. Possibly the future. We're talking about way into the future. Possibly four-engined hybrid jets. May be an option, but certainly as it stands at the moment, I think the 777-9 is really as far as they're going to go in terms of length. I don't think the A350, I don't think these jets can be extended any further, because obviously, you know, To make them longer, you need a bigger wing, you know, there's all sorts of different parameters, and of course then you're sort of like encroaching on what is possible in terms of parking at an airport or at gates, because there is a maximum wingspan, which is why the 777-9 has those folding wingtips, so that they could develop that huge carbon wing, but make it able to park in its usual stand. So the bottom line is that the 777-9 can park anywhere it likes, really. Paint shot, that one. Carol Smith tuning in from Prestatyn. Dancing Seagulls. William Smith, I gave him a shout out for his 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, mate. Bobby13 has gifted 5 memberships. Got a Rogue 350 arrival 27 right. In from Phoenix, Arizona. So these big sheds here, folks, with the crosswind effect, or with a crosswind element, which you've got a little bit of one there, not a direct crosswind, it's a southwesterly, but enough to give these guys a little bit of a shock as they pass through that segment where the wind is whipping across those sheds. Hangers, if you want to call them that. I call them sheds. I like to call them sheds. She's dropping. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, retard. Nice! Yeah, bit heavy on the front there, mate. That's only you, mate. Going tight with this heavy wind. Anyway, Sue Taylor, haven't seen Captain Dave land one in a while. Well, the trouble is, you see, all our pilot friends from British Airways are no longer able to sort of like communicate with us, really. Although, you know, we do from time to time hearing, we do, yeah. think some people are just maybe a little bit more, you know, cautious than others. Yeah. Is he? Scotty Bateman's flying out today. Gary Goodchild enjoying a bit of big jet action with the cat. Meow. Strong winds, faster takeoffs and slower landings. Loco. Well, you say slower landings. Is it? Is it slower landings? They've still got to maintain that approach speed, haven't they? Sometimes you do see them actually landing a little bit too fast, which kind of creates that sort of like negative effect. Because obviously, if you're, you know, if you come off the power, if you think about it, if you come off the power and land slower, or should I say, you know, try to. The aircraft's going to be affected by, especially by a strong headwind / crosswind element in it. Ashley May, Jerry, 380 Singapore Slinger, 15.5 now. Is that 15.05 we're hearing? HGC clean looking Eurowings. JP Kraus, same ground speed, different air speed. Darren Jones. Oi! No individual contact, please. Even with your cat. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I jumped away there. Mind you, no, he's a listener, and he's watching, so you've got to go, yeah. Actually, the cat's going to get broccoli for dinner. Screaming Amy, ground speed is affected by wind speed, air speed is not. Our approaches are the same speed. There we go. So you have to maintain the same approach speed regardless of what the conditions are. But some I have, you know, whilst doing that, especially in a very, very strong headwind, can you sometimes, especially if you sort of like hit pockets of intense winds, can you potentially land a little bit too fast, even though you're not, you know, planning to do so, should I say? Like the Virgin 350 that we caught a little while ago. I heard it. Oh, when you did you land that jet too fast? Don't you know I heard it through the grapevine? Yeah, I did hear it from someone, and I can't say who it is, but apparently the Virgin 350 that we caught landing 27 left a couple of weeks ago in high winds landed 5 knots above the intended landing speed, which is why the aircraft sort of like floated, as we call it. It's the best way to describe it. Had a bit of float on it because it still wants to fly. Let's face it, when an aircraft is, you know, even when an aircraft is landing, even though it's got flaps which control the descent, all of that kind of stuff, she'll still want to sort of like fly in a funny sort of way. But, you know, so Planespotter 22, what do you think of Transavier's 321 Neo? Ooh, we'd have to get out to somewhere like Schiphol to see that, wouldn't we? New radome on this Dreamliner, just a primed one. Obviously a unexpected switch out of radome. Chucked around there, man. A sturdy beast, though. She's a clean aeroplane. There you go. There you go. There's the wing flight surfaces. Well, I say that it's speed brakes and ground spoilers that you see there moving on the wing there, in line with the ailerons and the flaperons, just to minimise the twist on the wing, that is, and therefore obviously minimising the stresses on the wing. What have we got? 2:37. 20 minutes remaining. 20 minutes remaining of departures out of 27. Right, Paul Skilling has gifted a membership. Thank you, Paul. Don't you know that I heard it through the flight line? James Cridland, thank you very much. You know, don't feel obliged to give us a like, folks. It's entirely up to you. I'll be honest with you. I've said this so many times before. When I watch videos, but that's just videos. If it's a live video, you've got time to sort of like drop the thumb up in there, haven't you? If you want to, you know, just don't feel obliged. You know, we're all lazy. We are sort of like in a hurry. Oh, I can't use my finger at a moment. I'm picking my nose or drinking a drink or stroking the cat. Oh, hark at that. Spectrum. Yeah. It's 1970s, isn't it? Oh, I thought it was a ZX Spectrum. You know. The cables running to it and all that. Wasn't that the beep? Beep, boop, beep, boop. Table tennis all over, is it? Is it ping pong? Beep, boop, beep, boop. Alexandra Wood, hello! Rob Ashplant, Michael White. Thank you, James McElney, pressing the like button. It's the least we can do for such a great. Thank you so much. We work hard. You know. Give us a like, more an appreciation for our efforts. I think it would be the way to look at. Screaming Amy, stalk broccoli. He's not letting go, is he? Big old set of Trent 7000s on this Delta jet. No doubt on its way to Seattle or Atlanta. Seattle. J-Mate. Yeah, look, it's going straight out. Yeah. Wow. Big wing. Right in saying that Delta were the first operator, certainly at Schiphol, to run the 339, wasn't it? And I think Delta were the first, or was it Delta ran the first 339 into Heathrow? Oh, hello, we've got a gust front. I've got a gust front, and that's not because of all the broccoli I ate last night. I can feel a gust front. Oh yeah, I'm going to get rain, man. I'm going to get rain. Can you feel that? Yeah, look, there's rain over there. There's rain over there. Okay, I need to be ready for this. Exterminate. Here it comes. Just about to blow my mind, honey, honey, yeah. Would you be my? Yeah, nice shot. Yeah, already, man. There, Shim Shan. Okay, come on in, Mother Nature. Give it all you got. I'm ready for you, mate. It's a bit of precinct over the northern edge of the field. And it's all around me. All around my cat. See the rain. Oh, cool, man. Is it Georgie Narrowboat still got the Aussie Crew t-shirt, which I pulled out of my bottom drawer the other day. I've known Georgie Narrowboat. I've seen him. G-Mac. Oh. dodgy boy, innit? Narrowboat. River and Kiki, let's just be thankful the sun isn't shining. On TV, you hold me close to your heart. Believe me. Give all your love to me. Me and Hannah don't know much about history. Don't know much about geology. Don't know much about Jerry on the spectrum. I think here in Spain, YouTube is on the spectrum. Oh, okay. Not the spectrum that I was thinking. What's that? Nice level. Oh, I was going to level out. Now, that 350 was taxiing out here, wasn't it? What's he done? Why has he turned round? Oi! He's going past it. You alright there, lad? Yeah, I'm alright. Just having to think. Flight radar at 24. See if she's pointing in the opposite direction. Oh, in from Vancouver. That's interesting. She's in from Vancouver. They just wasted. Oh, wait for a gate. Yes, she's still charging. Everything's fine. I know the battery's fine because we've got 4 hours on this jet. Right. Okay. Here we go. A330 CEO. She's bound for me. She's gone off radar. It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes when they're screaming down the wrong way. Trent 700. I wonder if that bloke will ask me something. Oh! Yeah! Go on, girl. Right, now let's get those wings fluffed up, shall we? Come on. I want to see ribbons and all, please. There you go. Nice. It might happen around about the switchover point, so I'll have a couple of minutes to run down to grab it. Yeah, man. 3,500 feet a minute or something stupid like that, isn't it? Starting his descent in about 60 seconds. That's crazy, man. Having to pitch the camera right up at an angle to get that. Leveled out already, look. Seatbelt signs are off. I know it's a freighter. He's your puppy. Here we go. El Bandito. Trash Panda. Amy Winehouse. Sony Nut 5 is a new member. Welcome, Sony Nut. Glad to see you, everybody here. Hope you're all doing well. On Aviationists, a lovely bunch of people. I've got a lovely bunch of... when I went to that fair at this morning, just nice people there. It's a great community, isn't it? The aviation community. Just people who are genuinely sort of like... Obviously, there's a few bad apples in there. We know they are. You know, we know their names and all that sort of thing. But they, you know, just waste their time, sort of like, you know, being idiots. But, you know, all of us lot, we're all a great bunch of people. We're so lucky to have each other. We literally do have each other. We've got our backs, man. We've got each other's backs. As best we can, anyway. John Grinham, I remember Orion flying the A300. Yeah. Wow. Of course, Emirates started operations with the A300, didn't they? I think they also moved on to the A310 shortly. Lishan, named Heathrow's name after the ancient hamlet Heathrow, upon where the airport is now built. The settlement, which was largely an agricultural area, was demolished fully in 1944. Yes, but they did, when they built Terminal 5, they did some serious excavations, didn't they, and found some incredible artifacts dating back to those times when it was fields and dales and beautiful, just ancient communities. Wow, you see the extension on that? How cool was that, man? Bumpy ride up. Thomas. James McKelvey, great community on here, always so knowledgeable and helpful, and questions are always treated with respect and answered. Yes, James? Although I must say, folks, if I don't answer questions or I don't read your comment out, it's not preference in any way, shape or form. It's one thing I definitely do steer away from, is any type of preference. It's just literally the speed at which the chat moves sometimes. It's difficult to keep up, so hopefully if I don't answer it, somebody else will answer it. But if you've got any questions, please, you know, repeat them if you want to. Jill is also, as well as everything else she's doing, trying to keep an eye out. Wow, ran that one on the mains for a while, didn't she? No idea, mate. Tommy. Why? Okay, well that's it. 2:54, and it looks like they have brought proceedings to an end quite quickly, quite early today. 6 minutes ahead of schedule. They have switched operations, ladies and gents, by the looks of it. That 350 still doing the rounds looking for a gate, isn't it? get your gates here. Lovely gates. Free for the price of two. Free for the price of two. Free bunch of broccoli with every gate as well. Only special for Sundays. Chrissy Hot S Mama. Afro Arrow. Chili's job description lengthens by the hour. Think of these folks, along with all the other amazing people. There's just 2 people in amongst the thousands of people who work at Heathrow, looking after every nut and bolt, literally. Maintenance teams, check-in teams, cleaners. Although there's that new cleaner now, isn't there? That robotic one that I see every time I come into T5. He goes, "Oh, you're right there, mate." He just goes past. All right, then, thanks it. Stunner. Air Lingus from Dublin, first arrived on 27 right. Done with their inspection now. Sarah Lancaster, buffering for Sarah Lancaster in France. I think Sarah's last in France. Penny Haskins. No planes taking off, Penny. No, we're done. They'll all be lining up. If you look on your Flight Radar 24 app, you'll see them all lined up. Stunner. Somewhere up there. Philip Lowry, Etihad creator, just popped up on radar. Jane Waddell, Chile. Jane Waddell, is there anything wrong with the app? No, nothing wrong with the app apparently, folks. Alright, alright. Yeah, if you've got an issue with the Android, if you're running an Android phone and you've got an issue with the app, it's likely to be your phone and your compatibility with the app on your phone. You may need to uninstall and reinstall. Okay, alright. Nothing can fix it. It's just Android. Yeah, you need to get a newer phone or, I don't know. Android operators are always very, very sort of like, you know, oh, it's better than Apple, it's better than Apple. Well, okay, fair enough. They're very, very defensive, aren't they? But, yes, okay, and I understand that. Some people may, you know, it's very difficult when I used to operate the black currant phone, BlackBerry, sorry. Listen to that startup. It took a lot. It didn't take very much actually, because I went round my mate's house and he had the new iPhone 5 or whatever it was. And he was like, try that out. I was like, nah, mate. I like my BlackBerry. I like this little sort of like little mousy thing that I've got on the feet. Yeah. But just imagine you don't have to worry about all that. You just use touch screen technology. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. Give it here then. And he goes, oh, really? Oh, you opened it doing that? Oh, I like that. So a couple of days later, I had an Apple. Anyway, it's an interesting looking Heathrow security vehicle. Must be a new one. Sometimes it works. Control-Alt-Delete, you never know. I was lost in France. Properly phone. Karen Smith. Picture great on my Samsung 9 Ribena phone. He's just looking at all the planes, isn't he, or she? Wait for the gate, mate. It's nothing worse. I've got to be honest with you. I think I'd rather circle in holding patterns. Obviously they couldn't do it because of the fuel, blah blah blah, but I'd sooner circle than wait for a gate, man. Poor so-and-sos. Moving, they're moving. Tony Haynes, we're just waiting. Tony, first arrival is now. We've just had the switch over, literally 3:01 now. So they stopped operations. Look how long that 777 is, man. It just goes to show how long they are. Sometimes you look at these things and they are enormously long. Michael White has gifted a membership with his little pretty cat there. Look at this little pretty cat face. Okay, here we go then, folks. Still a decent enough. That wind was more or less bang on, wasn't it? It's a west southwesterly now, I think. So a little bit. More headwind to deal with, which isn't a problem. It's just all about, you know, this is all stuff that they practice in the simulators, of course. You know, very rarely do they practice, you know, lovely flying conditions, I'd imagine, unless they're sort of like type rating or just putting hours on the book, you know, refresher courses, that kind of thing. But you know, when you're flying a simulator, pilot training, obviously it's important to know that you can handle these you know, inclement conditions. Would you say? Oh, he was waiting for that gate, wasn't he? He's in there now, isn't he? He's smart. Melanie 350 waiting for the gate. We had a gate but no air bridge. We've had that a few times, yeah. And you know what? Sometimes it's because the operator of the air bridge hasn't turned up. We had one once. He's out front, is he? He's here already. Right, stand by, folks. Just going to run down quick and grab me food. I'm going to keep it on that shot there. Stand by, folks. Stand by, please. Give me a couple of seconds just to need to run down and get me food. Okay, 380. Ha ha! Right on the bell. See those plumes of smoke coming out there, folks? That's the pilot making incremental speed adjustments just to keep the speed up. Try to maintain that approach speed. Wow, felt that. Came down heavy, didn't it? You know, if I was a delivery driver, the one thing I would make a point of would be read the bleeding directions. It's not difficult to do, is it? Let me just read the directions and make sure there's no special requests or... Wow. See, one thing I noticed recently on the A380 is all this new panelling here on the pylons, on the engine pylons. So strengthening maybe titanium sections, I don't know. But certainly something I've noticed across the board on the A380s. A neat opportunity to eat this food. This is just... Your bum looks ginormous in that. First officer in charge. Well, landing it anyway. Yeah. Turn left over crest. Don't cut. Easy right. Oh, we're gonna get wet runway now. Okay. Oh, yeah, good point, good point. Yeah, good call that. This is the all Nippon jet. Thank you for that feedback. What's his name? Mark Appleby. Well, it's regular, isn't it? Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated. Good feedback, though. Obviously knows his stuff about frame rates and stuff like that, and it apparently plays brilliantly on the TV. So very happy to get that information and get that feedback. Thank you, Mark. Right. It's only going to be brief, the rain. Weather forecast was absolutely spot on, Jilly. The winds have dropped right down. Boeing 787. First aircraft, I believe, to adopt the head-up display unit, which is a pilot aid. I can see it here. Not sure if the head-up display unit is perhaps recycled during taxis, or you know, stowed, should I say? Lights are on. Oh, Screaming Emu E190 had that HUD way back in 1990s. Wow. Sorry about that. Not my bad then. So completely wrong there. Embraer first to adopt the HUD. Maybe the first wide-body jetliner to use the HUD. But you said it already, Jerry, so no point in trying to backtrack on it, Sam. Oh, blimey. Okay, so this is interesting. Screaming Emu saying that Alaska's 737 NGs, as in next generation CFM powered jets, had head-up display too. Which, does that mean that Boeing were the first to adopt it before Embraer? So 787 HUD permanently fixed then? Suffer. I think that Global dropped that idea of having gamers class on the basis that, well, to be honest with you, it just doesn't make a great deal of sense, does it? Anyway, maybe it was just a PR stunt, I don't know. Nigel Gale Slinger 380, 3 minutes out. Thank you, Nigel. Yeah, that's probably why they came up with the idea, but it was quickly poo-pooed by the technicians. Melanie, seems really odd to have 3 aircraft in from Haneda since the switch over to ANA and now BA. Well, I don't know about timing. Just oh, he's got his nose out of alignment. Look, new set of rims on the front. Screaming Emu, HUD is not permanent. You can remove them, but you can't change out the plastic. No, Screaming Emu, I'm talking about like as in fold away. Are they stowable? As in, you know, either want it or I don't want it. You know, is it an option for a pilot to use it or don't use it? Is what I'm saying. As simple as your sun visor, you know, that you use, blah blah blah. Tony 7 Crystals Jet. John Lehman, APU auxiliary power unit on the rear. What are we talking about there, Gordon? Found an article on AVSIMRI Boeing 737 mention of first with the HUD from 2012. Yeah, but didn't Screaming Emu... Okay, so the Boeing implemented the HUD from 2012 onwards. So it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the window, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. No, it seems to me that Embraer were the first to adopt the HUD. Doesn't like the HUD in the sim. It might be a different thing if it's in reality, I think. I think on a screen with a HUD in front of you might be a little bit off-putting perhaps, but it's something you get used to, isn't it? Anti-collisions firing away there. Listen to the hum of the Trents. That's the sound of the chain working on it. Yeah. Luke Reynolds Cafe 350 in a few minutes. Thank you. Sotty. And here she is, folks, the Singapore Slinger. Flying this back to back down to Sydney next year. Oh, okay, Sailor Mike on the Max Boeing say they can be stowed away. An odd flare there, man. Bit of an odd flare, but got it down smooth in the end, though. Wow, look at the wings just deflex, man. Go through the neutral. Love that noise, man. Bleed air coming out, well, reverse air or bypass air being blown out the side of those engines, man. Mike James, Qantas lining out to Sid left. Pilots have difficulty switching from being a first officer to a captain, Gillian. No. Adjusting to the new salary, that's for sure. Talk about wing flex. Watch this deflex. Watch this wing, folks. When this thing hits the ground, watch. Watch the wing there. Look at that deflexing. That's insane. Mark, thank you, Mark. He's gifted a membership. A kind thing to do. Sank down on the front there. Nice. How little the ground clearance is on the Dreamliner, man. It's insane, isn't it? Jilly, thumbnail. Oh yeah. Sabira, good question. Because obviously, if you're new to Big Jet TV, I have called the Singapore 380 the Singapore Slinger since Big Jet TV was born all those many years ago. I call it the Singapore Slinger. Because after the famous cocktail, the Singapore Sling, but I just call it a Slinger. I just put the ER on the end because well, extended range Singapore Sling, innit? Stephen Stanley, so cool watching the 380s on TV. The sense of scale really comes across, loving it. Oh, that's brilliant, Stephen. Awesome. Max deflex on the wings is awesome, isn't it? It's insane, especially on the Dreamliner. But the 380, you really notice it because it's such a big wing that it's interestingly enough, somebody on Twitter messaged me to say, I heard what you said about the, or it was one of my comments or something like that, saying I heard what you were talking about with the flex of the flex of the wing on the A380 and how she's more happy being airborne than she is on the ground, or actually, sorry, be more happier on the ground than she is airborne, or whatever it was. I mentioned about the flex, and it is actually yes, she is happier in the air than she is on the ground, because the wing is actually designed to flex. And in an ideal world, you know, that's where they feel at their best. And of course, when they're on the ground, it's almost like having weights on your arms and having to carry around a load of weights on your arms and trying to keep them straight. There's a lot of stresses go through that wing when it's on the ground with Air France A220. Monsieur, there we. But Max, great to see you seeing that. Ian Morris. Thomas saying, I found out about you guys on TV's Heathrow's Britain's busiest airport and have been watching ever since. Brilliant. Yeah, a lot of people's found us on. I'd say the majority of people that found us, apart from obviously those wonderful, amazing people who've been with us for all those years, so many years now, you know, found us from Storm Eunice. And Kira, yeah. All the Storm shows, should we say. Sailor Mike, we had a 747-400 at the Buffalo Airport last week. I had a chance to see it up close. Wow. Didn't seem as big as I remember as a kid. Very rare at BJF. I'd go on, talking of 747 freighters, a big shout out and congratulations to Doug Coletta, and the Top Fuel Dragster team. Of course, Doug, the son of Connie Coletta, from Coletta Airlines, a great family, and I said my congratulations, and they gave me a like. So thank you. Thank you very much. Scott Feltham, 6 years he's been watching. Steve Batty, strange that Air France only used the A220 when back in the day they were using the A300s and BA were using TriStars. Wow, has the demand gone down? You know what is crazy that you say that, Steve, but I think the A300, was the A300 the first twin aisle jet? But I think what it is, Steve, is just that they would rather use more than one service a day, give people more options in terms of, you know, if you've got, I mean, I don't know how many times they operated the TriStar to Paris and vice versa, the A300 into London Heathrow a day back then, but demand has probably picked up, and that's why they've opted to use these obviously far more fuel efficient aircraft than using a big aircraft. Kind of makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Better on the environment, cheaper on the pocket for the customer as well, I'd imagine. But yeah, I don't know how many operations they ran during the day back in those old days with the A300s and the TriStars, man. They ran BA TriStars down to Paris, did they? Flip it? Maybe I'm wrong in terms of maybe they have. Maybe demand has gone down. Air Action 2257 has gifted a membership. Thank you, sir. Oh, there we go. Howard Scott saying demand for London to Paris has declined because of the Eurostar service. Quicker and much easier. Got to get to, where is it? Eurostar goes out of where? Which London terminal is it? It's Blackfriars. Houston. Great question there from Howard Scott. Oh, no, sorry. It was John Pierce, wasn't it? John Pierce. Oh, it's St Pancras, is it? Okay. Jerry, do the aircraft's wheels skid before they start to revolve, hence leaving a load of rubber on the runway? Well, the answer to that is, the wheels are not locked in any way. They go from 0 to 2,000 RPM in the blink of an eye, literally. But that initial contact, yes, they will leave rubber. And sometimes, depending on the weight of the aircraft, or depending on... Because that's why it's important to land the aircraft sort of like motion. Obviously it's motion, but rather than dropping it down, which will create, especially if you're flying a heavy aircraft, it will create a bigger, not flat spots, but bigger marks on the tyres. Drake, thank you for answering Darren Barnes on the rudder. Obviously asked the question about the rudder. Only used really during takeoff and approach, but not even so much on approach. Okay, come on, do your stuff, son. See the rudder being used there, but once she's down to below 60 knots, of course, the rudder will sometimes the rudder system will lock, depends on the operator on the different type of aircraft, but that's why sometimes when you see the pilot will use the rudder pedals to steer the aircraft around the airfield, others use the tiller. It really is all down to pilot preference. James McKelney, good night from the Philippines. A very good evening to you, my friend. Sarah Lancaster, nice flex. Beverly George, Taron, 10 minutes out. Looks like a 350. Indeed it is. Another Cathay Pacific jet.
Side heavy. Wow, look at that front end bouncing, man. As the pilot applies the brakes, of course, no brakes on the front wheels. You will get the front dipping, rising and falling, depending on the braking input from the pilot. Brakes there just for the turn off. That's one of the things, again, I've said it before, you know, that I noticed was the hardest thing to do when I was in the simulator was taxi. And when I say that in the simulator, I'm talking about a full motion simulator. It was crazy how heavy it was, man. Real heavy, man. Not always, Nayad. We've had a few instances of heavy landings with 350s. And from Nairobi. See you, Tony. Yeah, Nigel, that's what we said. That's what we said earlier on when somebody reported that delays were due to high winds and staff shortages with ATC. We were a little bit bemused because at the time there were no high winds. There have been high winds, but nothing that would have slowed the traffic to the point. I think everything in the hold was down to the reasoning for that. Was purely down to obviously the one or two staff members who didn't make it into work today with ATC, with air traffic control. Hope they're doing well, and of course, you know, that will, when you've got maybe one operator controlling two positions, that may be your reason why. Video was being really critical of San Francisco ATC for refusing to give a lofty increased separation at night, as it was company procedure. They ended up diverting. Wow. All 787-9 variants, no 10s or 8s on their books. Are Virgin done with their deliveries? New aircraft for the time being? Are they? I know they not that long ago had one of their 330 CEOs painted up, repainted, should I say? Oh, it was Michael who emailed us. That's right. Yeah. Hopefully, is he gone yet? He's still on the chat, obviously. Joanna B. This was my jet I was on from Las Vegas in October. This Dreamliner here, I'm guessing. I was blaming anyone. I said it is possibly the reason why. I mean, the news stated. I'm only repeating what the news said, that delays were down to staff shortages and high winds at London Heathrow, and the winds were at that point in time around about 30 mile an hour, I think, tops, which is no problem at all for these pilots, and certainly wouldn't, like I say, cause those amount of delays. So I'm saying that it's not blaming anyone. Obviously, was linked to the shortages of ATC, and like I said, I'd say that it was probably more linked towards the shortages of staff with ATC than it was with the weather conditions. Miss, tell him to go home, Flipping heck, man. Fully blown out. Bennett. Can't win, can you? Bruce Fine, any special deliveries today? No, just me, McDonald's. Any special liveries today? Well, I have to say, just before we went out, we had the Saudi Arabian Airlines 777 jet in the new livery. It's the new livery, but it's the old livery, if you see what I mean. But yeah, she went out just before Arrow, well before noon here. 233 type of slinger, beyond the jet kind. Melody, Marlene, Joy, ATU. Yeah, exactly, if only the passengers knew, because they're fed the wrong information, aren't they? Half the time. The media and reporters who've got absolutely no knowledge about aviation or its links to whatever it might be linked to, if you see what I mean. It does get my goat, I tell you, when people do sort of like, journalists jump all over, I'll tell you what, I wish I could shout at some journalists like old Toto Wolff did the other day. Okay, that's the last time I mentioned that. Isn't it annoying when you've got a double cap in your coffee cup? Diesel 1-3, Virgin 350, 7 minutes out. River and Kiki. Yeah, you know what? This is why, folks, this is why it's quite unfortunate when people say, oh, I'm never flying with that airline again, never, ever, ever, missed my connection flight, really unhappy with them. Well, you know, if it's, when is it actually down to the airline? It's usually down to operational procedures, is it not? You know, it may be that you were delayed on your departure out of the other end. You know, there's all sorts of different things that can create, you know, if the baggage was late being loaded at the other end, that's not really down to the airline, that's down to the ground operations teams. But then it might not be down to the ground operations teams, it might be down to the IT systems with the baggage recognition that's going to the individual flights. So, you know, you need to sort of like, before you sort of like, you know, rip a hole into a specific airline or whoever, you need to maybe step back and have a think about, well, is it the airline? Is it, if you're on board an aircraft and you've got a stewardess, or sorry, a flight attendant who comes past you and literally flings your dinner at you, says eat it, shut up and don't ask any questions, or is just very uncooperative, or won't get you a bottle of water, is just not, they're very bad, and you know, the cabin service sometimes can be that bad that you don't want to fly with them again. That's when you can feed it back to the airline, isn't it? But people sometimes are so quick to, you know, judge the airline or the airport or whatever it might be. You know, it is just so many different variables when it comes to airport procedures or any sort of transportation. You know, railways. You know. Mr. G. Yes, maybe it is going to get a bit dark. It's getting dark already. Bobby 13. All the holes line up to create a delay or cancel. You taking the mickey out of me, Jelly? Screaming Emu. I had a Virgin American flight attendant literally throw a sandwich into my lap from 3 rows back once. Pretty solid toss. Fantastic. Yeah, I'll catch this. Do that bottle of water, would you? Arrow, does the final approach mean you've joined the back of the stack? I'm on final approach. Yeah, that would be the you are on the approach. Pat in the approach. Hold, not hold. Sorry. Well, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because you know, when you join the glide slope, you are. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, there's a holding approach pattern, isn't there? You know, like when you're on in one of the holding elements of the airfield. You know, the Occam or whatever it might be. But once you've joined the approach, the final approach, then you're calling the tower. And the approach, well, I should say. Nice. Oh, you have to actually. I think somebody like Screaming Emu or one of our pilots on here will have to give us that. But the bottom line is that there's different radio. You know, you'll connect to Heathrow approach on 118 da-di-da-di-da, then you'll call into Heathrow approach and be a Speedbird 3 fully established 10 miles. Tower will then call out continue your descent, and you will follow your descent pattern of 3 degrees, which is normal here at London Heathrow, around about 3 degrees. Most airports are about a 3-degree approach. But when you're out and you haven't contacted approach yet, you're still within the sort of like, you know, handoff towers in one of the control centres, the air traffic control centres. It's only when you are on the final approach, which is when you are established on the glide slope, that's when you contact London Heathrow approach, which is on 118, whatever it is, and that's when you speak to these guys and girls here at London Heathrow. Obviously, there are different control centres around the world. The last one is just up in Scotland, isn't it? Big handoff. Omid Atlanta flew to Heathrow early this month from Atlanta. Why is BA using remote stands now for arrivals and departures? Using remote stands? Well, they kind of always have done, Omid. Depends on, you know, how busy they are, really. And it's BA, so they can park wherever they like. Or are you meaning remote stands as in out of T4 and T5 when you've got those remote stands where you have to bus it out, where they bus you out? Yeah. Well, again, it's down to lack of stands, really. Right, stand. All right, Reg. It's Mizzle, mate, it's Mizzle. Yeah. Yeah, that's all on the flight plan as well, isn't it? You know, the descent pattern it's more or less the same. Approach is the thing that's different, isn't it? You know, in terms of like, you know, sometimes it might be a shorter approach on some airfields, or even longer on others. But yeah. Captain Anibus, so you will be with one of the London South Air Space controllers. There you go. They will pass you on to London Director, who is responsible for the holds and aircraft after departure. Then you will get passed to London Tower, and that's not the Tower of London. It's the London Heathrow Tower. For your final segment of approach, thank you, Captain Anibus. How do I not catch a cold or flu? Yeah, just staying as healthy as I possibly can. Good. Luckily, I don't have to get on a train every morning, or you know, around kids or anything like that who's sneezing. The little lady, little Jerome, look at him, lose his big tail up. Yeah, I am very fortunate. Obviously, I fly quite a lot, so you know, I'm You know, that's the only time that I get really exposed to human beings. I try to sort of like, I still sort of like, you know, I still use the old hand cleansers whenever they're around. At Heathrow Airport, they're dotted around. This one might make a bit of a noise. Here we go. Landed that fast, didn't he? Come on, son. Notched it. Very sort of like it's very interesting makeup. The technically well the wiper units on the Boeings, especially on the Dreamliner. There's a lot of hardware there, whereas the Airbus seems to be a little bit more low profile. TCC bin men are finally here. Looking at that Tarom jet, and I was looking at the model, the Braniff International 747 SP model. Oh, that's because it's not plugged in. Stupid boy. God, I tell you what, it's getting towards that time of the year where the old things are starting to. I was like, honestly. EGPX, that's great information, EGPX, thank you. Everywhere I look around, but I don't know if I'm being foolish. With a wind element as well. I might have to nip down and get some. I think I'm going to have to nip down and get some wipes, GP, just because. And it's there when I look in your eyes. Moisture in the air. noticed this this coat, mate. Chirping birdie, K31 due 13 minutes. Emirates 31. Skilling, radar showing rain is passing. Yeah, do expect it. Oh, blimey, yeah. Oh, what time? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, not if it's in the pitch dark. What's the point? Well, just about. Will it? We'll have a look. Just have a look. Well, no, not sunset. Sunset's already been, isn't it? Sunset's at 4:30 or something. No, it's only 4:08. Every sight and every sound. I don't think this is going to last very long, this preset. It's an absolute shower. What's that? Google it. Okay, Bob Shalvoy, it was at 16:06, so it was a minute ago. Sunset was a minute ago. That's sunset, but light. We're still in the twilight zone, aren't we? Are we? Makito, good afternoon to you, Makito. Hope everybody's doing well. Hey, how you doing? But it's there when I'm looking you. Moisture in the air. Somebody said that on TV yesterday. A bit of moisture in the air. Hold on a minute. No, they didn't sing it. Listen to that thing going out. Weather forecast. Can't be singing out on a BBC, can it? next, just putting the whole Sailor Mike. Mark, it's Christmas Day. We don't make plans until literally the. But rest assured, we will be doing a show on Christmas Day, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason we do that is because we know that there's a lot of people out there who perhaps don't have family coming to them, or maybe they're on their own, or whatever their circumstances may be. The bottom line is that they're on their own, and we want to keep them company for a few hours, say hello, and wish everybody the very best for the day. Okay, so that looks like their new you look on the that I'm going to get hit by that rain there, I think, based on the simulation that I just did. Come on, let's get these reversers going, boys and girls. Swordfish coming back from New Zealand on Christmas Eve. Is that Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve? Christmas Eve. Is that one of those ones where you'll depart on Christmas Eve and land on Christmas Eve, or something stupid like that? Diane 78's got Christmas Day off, can watch Big Jet TV. There we go. All run, wrap the presents together. This is an unmarked 747. No, it's not. Never. Yesterday, it's going to start getting cold next week. That's an old aeroplane, isn't it? That was the 25th NG. Blimey O'Reilly, that's old. I think. Thank you, Bruce. Shane D, 737, 800. What can I say? Interesting. Carol Smith. Heard a jet go loud above me. Flight radar 24 on to try and recognise it. Great info. Sailor Mike 737-8, only 7 years old. The 737 NG's been out for decades, isn't it? I'm a little bit confused. Is that their 25th 737 NG? I don't know. Harrison Asiana confirming also only 7 years. I was going to say, you know, can that be, I don't know. No idea. We're always live on, well, normally we're live on New Year's Day, actually. I know I do get invited to a golf match or something on New Year's Day, but whether I not last year. I know we obviously do Boxing Day and Christmas Day and Boxing Day, don't we? Bruce Air Algiers has about 5 or 6 737 NGs in its fleet. Either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, isn't it, that we normally do, isn't it? Screaming Eve is probably their 25th 737. Okay. Wow. Why would they make a big point of NG on it? That's what I don't understand. Even if it's their 25th NG. So, 99.9% reoccurring of passengers or people travelling on those jetliners have absolutely no idea what aircraft they're flying on, what type it is, apart from obviously when they're flying on an A380. They haven't got a clue. So it's just, I guess, for their own personal marketing propaganda, I guess you would say that. We do what? Barry Thomas. No, I agree with you, Barry. No paying passengers should have to put up with an angry crew or anything like that. Most definitely. Unless you've done something wrong, you know, like you got up out of your seat, you know, on approach or something, and they're, you know, shouting at you, "Sit down!" or something like that, you know. But other than that, you know, should be honest with you, shouldn't be a cabin crew member really, or anything to do with cabin crew. If your job is to look after and make people happy, then you know, you're in the wrong place. If you're a Victor Meldrew type. I don't believe it, Margaret. He wants a bottle of water. Sean, that's what we're here for, Wayne. Oh, we've got to push back. And they are GEs as well, so we might get a bit of a boomy startup. Oh, lovely. Startup. Push and start. Sailor Mike beginning to like the 767-400 variant. Oh yes, I love them both. I love the 3 and 4. But the 400 variant, super long, super stretch. Come on, mate, get in the focus, son. Camera's been a bit funny today, isn't he? Has cats. Can someone answer why the FA pulled down my window shade in the middle of the night over the ocean? Dawn, do you know what? That is actually a nice thing to do, isn't it? Because the last thing you want to do is be woken up by blistering sunshine coming through the window, isn't it? So they've done it for your own benefit, Dawn. Flight, Nigel. 30 years ago, BA flight to Denver, grumpy and dumpy female purser offered to have me arrested on arrival after complaining no food left, including young children, and no IFE. No food left, including young children. I don't think they're going to be on the menu, are they? Well, I can quite understand that, really. I'm sure they meant including the young children, no food for the young children, no in-flight entertainment. Offered to have me arrested. You know what? That's definitely worthy of a complaint, isn't it? Generally, they do. They do respond, I have to say, because airlines need to. Oh wow, that's brilliant. Where's it? Is that further down? Looked a window to get the sun on my face. Finish winter 6y. Bird in the aisle, lady in the aisle, I'm guessing, in the aisle invited her mate to sit in the middle seat. Mate didn't answer, like the sun in her eyes, and closed the blind. Well, you know, sometimes. It's that is this new livery? Is this new livery? Here we go. Yeah, new livery, innit? Burns, EK31 track by over 1,200 people wondering how many are Big Jet TV viewers. I haven't said it before. See, we've still got 5,500 people watching. Hope you're all doing well out there, and that's to each and every one of you folks. Hope you're having a great remainder of your weekend, or maybe some people already into Monday. EGPX, my window seat, my blind. It's one of the pieces on the table. Okay, 787 passenger. Dim the windows remotely. Yeah, they can, can't they? Bob Shalfoy, 380 has so many brakes on its wheels. Airbus thought that it didn't need reverses at all. Its customers insisted on at least some reverses, however. Yes, Bob mentioned that quite a few times on the show. Incredible that when Airbus developed that aircraft, because of the number of braking wheels, every single wheel apart from 4 wheels on that main undercarriage, wing brakes, wing and body gear, offering braking. But when we talk about brakes, folks, we're not talking about a single disc brake. We're talking about around, at least on the A380, I think there's possibly anything from 4 to 6 discs per wheel. So multiply that up and you'll see the reason why Airbus developed that aircraft with not needing any reversers, but I think they traded off and met halfway with the operators when the operators were a little bit unkeen with having that might be a screen grab there, GB, I don't know. There, bang. So they met halfway. They said, "Let's meet in the middle, and we'll just to make the operators happy, and also possibly even to make the regulators happy that she has got at least some engine braking power should there be brake failures, etc., or a massive hydraulic failure. Just to be on the safe side, and they use them, and boy oh boy do they use them sometimes. Somebody saying that they flew, Matt flew with Singapore Airlines in March in business. I have to say their crew were absolutely amazing. Nothing was too much trouble. Yeah, well there we go. Yeah, I don't know how they do it on a 13-hour flight. It's just because they're impeccable, aren't they? Just very, customer relation related, aren't they? It's what your job is, isn't it? So you've got to put on a happy face. Even if you've got toothache or something, or whatever it is, that might be. But Mike, you've got to be able to smell hot coffee in people's laps too. Sandwiches. We just caught, headed to Atlanta. Travel flying on the Dreamliner as you can. Control the, yes indeed you can. Control the, it's an engine start. Sounded like a 350 engine start, possibly, or an A380 engine start. Nigel Gale, following on from his grumpy BA flight attendant on arrival, met by Denver manager of the airline, obviously, who whisked us through security, etc. And all 4 of us were upgraded to first on the return flight. There we go. So yeah, that's definitely worth it, isn't it? Winchell has gifted 5 memberships. Thanks, Chris. Very kind of you, my friend. Right, folks, we're gonna leave it there. Of course, we are going to be back on Wednesday. Oh, somebody waiting for the Malaysian, is it? Okay. Shamrock 105, CX7 delayed to 16:59. It'll be pitch dark then, folks. We'll get a couple more. Screaming Emu, double Finnair. Well, it's probably BA. Maybe one of them is a BA operation. The other one may be Finnair. I know that Finnair are, I think, dry leasing. Are they dry leasing these jets? With the lack of air crew and cabin crew, it might be wet lease. Jumbo's going to be in pitch dark, folks, so we're going to catch a couple more. Amazing people, and don't ever forget that you are amazing people. Know you are loved. Oh, that'll be Lufthansa, won't it? I mean, if there was a cruiser above me now, I'd be able to get it. Still got a tiny little bit of light left. great part of the flight, that is cloud surfing, man. Screaming Emu's going to go and pump some iron. Yeah, yes, yes. Oh, there you go, there's your Malaysian. Here we go. Turn it on, son. Always looks clean at the night in the dark, doesn't it? Any jet. It's time of the night to sell a car. It's an old rust bucket. Well, folks, it's been fantastic once again. Thank you, everybody, for your generous gifting. Welcome to all new members as well. We are going to America on the 29th and 30th. We will be live in the USA, and we're not going to tell you until we're there, literally. Well, actually, we can tell them the day before, can't we, Julie? We can tell them the day before, because yeah. Squirrel, BA should just fly at night. Squirrel! MH4's nice. No, Chile is under contractual obligations to not say a bleeding word. It's exactly how it's written. Don't say a bleeding word. Right, folks. Look after yourselves. We will catch up with you. I know what I'm going to look like. Blah, blah, blah. No, not very good. I'm here. But anyway, listen, folks. Thank you so much. It's been great once again. Give us a like if you want to give us a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're a new viewer to Big Jet TV today. Then hit that subscribe button. Not because we're desperate for subscribers, far from it. All we want to make sure is that if you have come to this channel